back, Zoe here, and this is going to be a quick fundamentals breakdown of all the basics for kickboxing, boxing, all right, technique and form. So quick little tidbit about me, I have grown up doing martial arts my whole life, since I was a wee little girl. So started off in karate, more traditional style, and eventually when I was a little older, transitioned to a more cage fighting, so more boxing and Muay Thai. All right, so I have a nice little combination, all right, of both that has just formed. I competed at an amateur level for probably 3-4 years, I would say. Now it's just for fun because I'm a mom, but otherwise, all right, these are gonna be a quick basic, so just so you know a little bit about me. Remember, this is also if you are looking for how to kick and punch and do all those fun things, but within your workout. So this is not fight focused. If you're looking for that, I don't know, maybe I will, I don't know. But it's not really something you can learn over a camera. All right, so again, this is more fitness focused. So I'm gonna show you all the proper form, so that way you can feel like a bad, you know what, in your workouts and have fun and not feel quite so goofy, but it takes some time to break that, okay? So if you still feel a little self-conscious or like it doesn't look perfect, it has taken me 20 years to feel like I do really, really clean technique. So just do your best, have fun, all right, and remember these pointers. So let's get started off. We're gonna start with our stance. So that is 101 is your stance. So if you are dominant, whatever side you are dominant on, all right, you're gonna take that leg, rewind. We're gonna start with our feet about hip width, maybe a little bit wider. All right, from there, you're gonna take your dominant side. All right, this will be your power side, and you're gonna step it back about 1.5 feet. All right, again, just a little wider than hip width, maybe about shoulder width. All right, and then you're gonna pivot those feet to about a 45-degree, come up onto the balls of your feet, have a softness in your ankles, your knees, and your hips. Hands high at your chin, elbows tucked in close to the rib cage. You're gonna tuck that chin down a little bit. So even though we are just fighting for our fitness, if we were fighting an opponent, all right, we'd wanna protect ourselves. So we wanna be here, all right, so you can see we're nice and blocked and protected by our hands, okay? So you'll see in my workouts, right, I'm here always. You know, sometimes, again, we adjust a little bit because we're adding squats or lunges or what have you. But you're in your stance, about 1.5 feet shoulder width, maybe even a little bit wider. All right, I feel comfortable having a little bit of a wider stance, but we're soft in the feet because you're gonna find a nice, gentle rock. Okay, so you can kind of bounce front to back and shift your weight. You don't wanna be too excessive, so try to stay mostly center gravity, or you could do a double bounce right here, okay? So just perfectly up and down, okay? We're not gonna go over a lot of footwork and that kind of crazy stuff because again, this is just for fitness, all right? But otherwise, you're in your stance, your hips are down a little bit, your knees are bent, all right? Your heels are off the ground because you gotta be light on your feet and your hands are high, protecting your face. All right, so that's your stance. Next, we'll start off with your boxing. So all your punches, we have 6, right? So 3 each side, but we have our straight punches. So from there, we have our jab. That's gonna be on your front side, okay? I also recommend get comfortable with both sides, especially if you do this for fitness. Keep it even, all right? You don't wanna build up any, any large imbalances like I did, all right, from being on one side for a while as I was learning. Try to get comfortable learning from both sides. All right, but we're gonna come straight down the pipe. So you're not gonna come out, all right, no big haymakers. We're gonna come straight down the pipe, keeping that fist horizontal, I guess you'd call it, maybe vertical. All right, but we're gonna come straight out. At the very last second, we're gonna pivot that wrist and twist at the end. You're aiming to hit with the first 2 knuckles, so maybe you hit out of bag or you just do in the air, but either way, you wanna make that fist nice and tight to pivot and twist, landing with those first 2 knuckles. Notice my chin is tight to that shoulder, all right, because I'm protecting myself, and we're coming straight down the pipe, bringing it right back in, twisting at the very last second, all right? So it goes the same exact for the right side, boom, all right, same exact technique for the right side. It's just a longer reach, okay, and you're gonna feel a little more protected here. I guess I should also rewind just for a second and start with your pivots. Sorry about that. So your pivots are going to start always from the floor. That's why we want to be on our heels or on our toes to be light, but we want to ground down. So we want to use that floor to pivot, just like if you played baseball or golf or some other twisting sport, okay? You want to use your feet to initiate that pivot. So you're going to twist that foot. Think like, you probably don't, but when somebody puts a cigarette out, right, they step on it and they squish it, or maybe you're squishing a bug, you step on it, you spin, okay, step, spin. You're going to spin with the toes into the knee, then the hip, through the core, finish through those shoulders. All right, so your power comes from the floor. Boom. If you come up, you lose it all. So you want to keep that strong connection to the ground. Okay, so every punch, every kick has a pivot from the ground. If you're starting from that front side, it's not going to be as big of a pivot. It's not going to be as dramatic. But you can see here, I'm still doing a slight pivot. All right, so it's not going to be very dramatic in the order, right? So it's foot, knee, hip, shoulders, punch. All right, it's going to look like it's all happening almost at the same time. Okay. Also, I'm on shoes, but I'm also on wrestling mats in a martial arts gym, so it feels okay. If you're at home and you're on carpet, I would suggest just to be barefoot, all right? But find a texture that works for you. You want to have a little bit of grip. It shouldn't be slick, but it shouldn't be too grippy because you can hurt your knees. Anywho, so back to our punches. We're starting with those straight down the pipe punches, twisting at the very end, all right? Bringing the hand back to the chin. You're not going to drop it down and scoop. You're going to come straight back down that pipe. Next, we have our hooks. So from here, you're going to drop your hand. All right, it's loaded at this 90 degree. I'm going to come straight out, bringing that hand down to a 90 degree at the elbow. And as I circle through my pivot, I'm going to open that elbow away from the body for a 90 degree at the shoulder. So my hook is going to have this pattern. All right, if I'm hooking to the body, it's going to be a little bit more closed in the armpit versus if I'm hooking to the head, where we're going to be very clean at that 90 degrees, but we want to focus on keeping a strong frame in the 90 degree elbow, all right, and 90 degree chest to shoulder, okay? So we're here, again, we're not scooping out wide like so, we're dropping it down and then coming straight out. So from the front view, you can't see me opening out, right? Drop down, come straight out as you pivot, okay? Drop down, that pivot is gonna help you open up. Okay, so again, we're not here, we're not doing big bear hugs. All right, we're coming down and following through, all right? You wanna follow through that punch, your fist should be in line with your chest. See how my fist is in line with the center of my chest? Boom, 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 right? I'm not coming here and then crossing. It's meeting my chest, finding center chest, and moving with it, okay? So lead hook, rear hook, no special names. Same with the uppercuts, all right? We're gonna drop that hand down, all right? And we're gonna scoop up. So it's gonna look a little more dramatic in that pivot. We're gonna scoop up 90 degree here, but that elbow is gonna stay a little more connected to the hip, all right? Once you finish that uppercut, whether it's to the ribs or it's to the chin, it's coming straight back, and then you'll open up for the other one. So dropping it down, scooping to the ribs or to the chin. Okay, but again, 90 degrees here, very important that we maintain this frame, all right? These strong frames, especially if you hit on a heavy bag, are what's gonna help you feel that power, all right, and protect your joints, so 90 degrees. Also, quick pointer, when you do your hooks, try not to land here, especially if you're doing on a heavy bag. You're not as strong, your wrist can bend this way, right? Whereas if you're here, you're gonna land, you're not gonna really bend, right? There's not gonna be any slipping. So try to keep those fingers in line, perpendicular to the floor. All right, so we have our straight down the pipe jab, our cross is the rear. We have both sides hooks and both side uppercuts, all right? Next, we have some elbows. If you don't want elbows, keep skipping along. All right, I'm gonna try to add in timestamps here. I'll do my best. All right, but next we have elbows. So from here, Okay, again, this is kickboxing. I like to add elbows in. I don't do it too much because I know it can be confusing. It's gonna be like you're shaving your chin. So you're gonna drop whatever side you're elbowing. So I'm gonna start with my rear. I'm gonna drop that palm down to chin height. All right, and then I'm going to open my elbow up. So closed, open, and I'm gonna shave that chin, boom, because I want the outer edge of my elbow to follow through the slice. So dropping that hand down, flaring it up like a chicken wing, cutting across. Okay, so again, drop it down, open up, cut across. Okay, again, chin height. When you come, now yes, I understand, I said shave your chin, you're not gonna actually touch your face. All right, you're gonna wanna come outside that defending hand, okay? Same thing if it's from your front side, drop it down, open up, cut across, okay? So just start slow. All of your punches, you learn these techniques, pause the video, and just take a few minutes and really try to walk through these movements, okay, step by step. Okay, we always want to finish with that hard crunch, that hard twist to the core. All right, that's why kickboxing is so phenomenal at building a strong core, is because there's so much obliques. All right, moving on to the lower half. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it quick. You can always pause, like I said, and just practice those moves. Maybe rewind, hear those pointers again. Next, we're going to start with the lower half. So we'll do knees, front kicks, side kicks, and I'll throw in some roundhouse, although those are a little harder if you don't have a counter force. So next are our knees. So we have a couple different kinds. So if you're gonna do like a clinch knee, that's like more Muay Thai, right? You grab the person in the back of the head and you draw them in. It's a closer knee, all right? It's a little more damaging, all right? You're using those hip flexors and the crunch of your core, boom, to really meet that power. Versus if we're doing a longer knee, where we're gonna use it a little less defensively, a little bit more offensively, boom, like we're coming at the person. You're gonna throw a lot more hips into it. It's gonna be a lot more glute focused, right? See them pushing it out. All right, now once we start working with our kicks, I like to counterbalance by moving my arms down, and I'll show you how. But first, we're gonna start with those knees. So clinch knee, you're gonna come up, drive that knee in, keep your toes pointed, heel to the glute, boom, we're here. Now, a lot of times in my kickboxing workouts, we'll do this move. Boom, 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 which looks super smooth, right? But it's just a couple of steps. So you're gonna come in, drive that knee in, right? Step straight down, and that non-kneeing side slides back, okay? So you reach up, drive the knee in, step, step. So just start here, step, step, drive, 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 step, step, and then it just becomes a slide. So you're here, and you're sliding this leg back as you lower down with that kneeing leg, okay? Now if we're gonna do more of a long knee, say we did jab, cross, hook, uppercut, boom, offensive knee, all right? A little more of a push knee. You're gonna come up, same pattern, heel to glute, knees coming through. You're gonna shove, you're gonna drive that knee forward, boom, and then land straight down, okay? So knee in, drive that knee out, using those glutes, using those hips, staying balanced, staying on the balls of the feet, and notice I pivoted at the top. So I'm here, bottom leg pivots, boom, as we shove that knee through. Also, I'm counterbalancing with that kneeing side of the hand. So I'm throwing it down, keep myself upright to counter twist. Okay, so drive that knee in, boom, lower down, and you're here. So if you were gonna do a combination in your workout, a lot of times you're gonna bring it back down, okay, especially if you're only comfortable working on one side, all right? Otherwise, knock it out both sides, maybe just throw jab, cross, boom, get comfortable, and again, pivoting, staying on the balls of the feet. Next, we have side kicks, so standing up tall. A lot of times in my workouts, like I said, I like to go side to side so we can get that cardio in. All right, this is not, right, fight kickboxing. This is just fitness kickboxing. But you're gonna draw that knee up. You're gonna shoot your side kick out, all right, pushing out the heel, and bring it down and lower, okay? So go ahead, try that for a second here. All right, so next we have our side kick. So a lot of times, right, if you're in competition, you're gonna obviously side kick your opponent, so you're not gonna be turning your body, right? You're not gonna be kicking out here. You're gonna follow your opponent with your body, all right? But a lot of times in my workouts, like I said, you'll see me here, boom, okay? Because it's good cardio, all right? So let's just go over the basics of the kick. So standing from a flush stance, you're gonna draw that knee up, chamber, okay? We're gonna draw that knee up, think knee to shoulder. We wanna stand tall, all right? I see a lot of this stuff in like the fitness, kickboxing workouts, no. All right, I want you to stand tall. All right, you're strong, you're stable here, balance on that bottom foot. I do have my heel to the ground because we're shooting out this direction, so we kind of need to balance on the outer edge of that foot. However, all right, if we are doing maybe a little hop side kick, boom, or we're gonna slide into it, all right, you'll come up to the balls of the feet. This one, we're not pivoting, so it's not so much, okay? Now, if you were going to side kick, right, in a more traditional sense, as if you're fighting, right? So say some of my workouts, we do jab, cross, hook, hook. We lean back, load up that back leg, chamber, and shoot. You are gonna wanna come up on the ball of the foot because you have to pivot, right, to open up those hips. But again, just practice here side to side. So knee into the shoulder, shoot that heel out, knee in, and touch down, okay? So knee in, chamber, shoot that heel out. Notice I'm kicking through the heel. I'm pulling my toes back towards me. It's hard to do. All right, you're gonna wanna have a floppy foot when you're first getting started, but really try to lock that heel out because that's where you're gonna make contact, especially if you're doing it on a heavy bag at home. So chamber, shoot the heel out, chamber again, and touch down, okay? Chamber, heel, chamber, and down. And remember, from a fitness standpoint, if we are staying tall versus doing this, what about all that core strength you're doing, right? Especially for those of you that are pre-baby, or maybe even if you're prenatal. All right, I meant post-baby. But even if you're prenatal, all right, I did so many side kicks to help do some kind of core strength once my stomach was getting too large, because you can't really do anything else. So again, just keep that in mind. All right, next we have front kicks. So again, kind of like our knees, where we could do a little more of a snappy front kick, where we draw that knee in, chamber, shoot the kick out, bring it back in, and lower down. Or we could do more of a push front kick. So you'll call that a teep in Muay Thai. All right, so knee in. You're gonna shoot those hips forward as you kick. Come back up nice and tall as you chamber back in and lower down. So knee in, you can either, knee in, you can either snap it or knee in and push. Okay, but again, look at my feet. Ball of the foot, okay, ball of the foot. Knee in, push kick, lower down. Same thing if it's your back foot, but remember, if you're hitting with the back foot, you gotta pivot, so watch my bottom here. Watch this foot right here, ready? Knee up, push, see my pivot, and I'm bringing it down. Sorry, I know it's slow, it's hard for me to balance a little bit. But again, it's up to you. So a little more core when you lean back here, all right? A little more glute, versus if you're doing a snap kick, boom, boom. A little more crunching abdominal work, a little more hip flexors, okay? So just kind of however you want to take it if it's not directed in the workout. Then we have round kicks. So these ones are really hard to do if you don't have a counter force, all right? It takes a lot of balance, but I'm gonna show you anyways. Same thing as always. We're coming up with that chamber, shooting the leg out, re-chambering, and bringing it down. This one's a big pivot, so you really have to stay on the balls of your foot. All right, you wanna try to avoid going heel to toe or toe to heel, all right, especially if you have kind of sticky shoes. All right, I did hurt my knee doing that once on mats with tennis shoes, so just beware. Balls of the feet, knee in, pivot hard through that bottom foot, shooting that kick out, you're pointing the toes, heel comes back to glute, pivot, and touch down. If it's your front leg, you can just lift and lean back, boom, like so. All right, but sometimes my workouts like to try to, again, fitness focus. So if we do like a right leg and a left, or a right lunge and a left lunge, we'll do a right kick, round kick, and a left round kick. So I'm here, boom, right, and then boom, pivot again. So that way we're still getting that pivot on both sides, or I'll go here, 2, and then we'll step down, step back, like that knee. 1, pivot, 2, step down, step back. Okay, so just play with it, get comfortable. That one's, I'm gonna say, going to be the most challenging to pick up. All right, but the basics of your kicks is always gonna be chambering that knee in, tight to the body, whichever direction you're kicking, shooting that kick out, knee comes back in, and then you're lower down. Because if you feel like you do those side kicks and this happens a lot, you're missing that rechamber, okay? Anyways, just try to keep it as short and sweet as possible, as basic as possible. All right, otherwise, that is it for your fundamentals. Again, remember that is fitness focused. All right, if you liked this tutorial and it helped you a lot, so that way you can work hard in your workouts and feel a little more like you knew what you were doing, please give me a like or let me know in the comments. All right, it cheers me up to know that I am helping you. Otherwise, till next time, stay strong, stay tough.